Someone commented, they sent me a message about one of my latest videos, and it's in the description if you want to reference it. However, I want to talk about this comment that was made. So the comment was, I'm not lazy or stressed. It's buildup of life expectations. There are needs and wants. Looking at an individual's needs that's not in the correct time and space requires them to create barriers that causes stress just to survive. Now, I read this and of course I responded to that person, but I have not been able to stop thinking about it, right? Because this right here, it's the truth most people cannot put into words. So today, I want to unpack what they said and explain why it matters and give you real solutions you won't hear in feel-good content. This one's a bit deeper. Let's start with the first part. I'm not lazy or stressed. It's the buildup of life expectations. This sentence alone is a mic drop. Because we live in a world that mislabels survival fatigue as laziness. We call people burnt out without asking why are they on fire in the first place. This is not about procrastination. It's about the constant pressure to perform. It's about the emotional toll of being on all the time. It's about the quiet burden of trying to meet invisible standards. So this is what I call emotional plaque. It builds up slowly, expectation by expectation, until even the smallest task feels like too much. And yet we keep blaming ourselves. Let's go to the next line. There are needs and wants. So it sounds simple, but this is everything. Because in modern life, we confuse the two all the time. We treat needs like luxuries, things you should earn or get over. And we treat wants like obligations. So let's be clear. Needs, that's rest, safety, belonging, being seen, being heard, having space to breathe. But wants, travel, right? Status, achievement, recognition. So you're not wrong for needing basic emotional oxygen, but if the world treats those needs like distractions, you start to think that you're the problem, and you're not. Then they said, looking at an individual's needs that's not in the correct time and space. Now, that one line, it captures the core misalignment so many of us feel but just don't understand. So you may need rest, but you're in hustle culture. You may need connection, but you're surrounded by disconnection. You may need emotional space, but the world only gives you performance metrics. Your needs are valid, but they show up in a time or space where they don't fit the system. So instead of being met, they get buried. And the longer they're buried, the heavier life feels. So what do? We build barriers. Just like the comment that was sent to me, this line reads, requires them to create barriers that cause stress just to survive. Let's call those what they really are. And those are survival adaptations. What do? You numb out, you go hyper independent, or you shrink yourself, or overachieve, or you just stop asking for help because it always comes with strings. These aren't flaws. These are functional shields designed to protect you in a world that doesn't make space for your full humanity. But here's the cost. Those shields create chronic stress, disconnection, and a sense of being off, even when things look okay on the surface. So let me say this very clearly. You're not lazy, you're not broken. You are adapting to a system that was never designed for your actual needs. But now comes the most important part. What can you do about it? Name the misalignment. Ask, where are my needs showing up in places that cannot support them? For example, just say, I need rest, but I'm surrounded by people who glorify overwork. Or, I need support, but I've normalized being the strong one. Naming the mismatch is the first act of self trust. Stop shaming your survival strategies. If you're hyper independent or numbing or avoiding emotions, those kept you safe for a time being, and instead of judging them, thank them. Then ask, what would I do if I didn't have to protect myself this way anymore? Create micro safe zones. And this is for the world, right? That won't meet your needs. You have to build a pocket, right? Pockets of space that will meet your needs and keep you functioning. Now, this could be as something as simple as a 10-minute walk with no stimulation window after work, or reaching out to the one person you can be emotionally honest with. It could also be a playlist that grounds you in your own signal, or leaving the group chat that makes you feel behind. So you don't need a total life reset, just consistent refuge. Relabel what you've been calling laziness. Instead of, why can't I focus? Asking yourself that question, try this. What's my system trying to protect me from? Your body is very wise, and your fatigue is a message. So it's time to stop ignoring it. Design a human centered daily life. I know it might sound like it's a lot or a bit much, but your life isn't a product, it's a project. But if it can be redesigned with you at the center, then let's do that. So start by asking, what parts of my life routine feel like friction? What spaces make me tense up? Where do I feel unseen, rushed, or extracted? Now just flip it. How can you reduce the noise? So less input, fewer obligations. And how can you increase humanity? More light, silence, softness, breaks, consent. Even one corner of your room or a day redesigned around your actual self is revolutionary. So, design for energy, ease, and dignity. Add one nourishing input per day. Not hustle, not motivation, actual nourishment. And this could be a glass of water before screen time, standing in the sun for 2 minutes, or writing one truth you've been swallowing. Or you could be looking at something beautiful without rushing it. Take time, pause, look at it. You're not here to optimize yourself for capitalism. You're here to reclaim your own signal, and nourishment helps you find it again. Practice internal validity. Don't wait for the world to validate your exhaustion or your needs or your intuition. Start telling yourself, my experience is real, even if no one else sees it yet. If it feels off to me, then it's off. I'm allowed to design a life that fits me. Now, this is not rebellion, this is actual recovery. Build a future you friendly system, one that your future self will thank you for. So ask, what can I set up now that my future self will be so glad that I did and thank me for it? So here's some small examples. So a sticky note with a boundary reminder on your laptop, or a standing grocery list of foods that actually fuel you, or presetting a wind down routine, even if it's just 3 minutes of stillness. If you can't rely on the system, become the system. Not perfectly and not all at once, just enough to signal your nervous system, we're doing things differently now. The commenter was right. This isn't about stress or laziness. It's about adaptation under invisible pressure. And if that's you, you're not weak. You're resilient. But you deserve more than resilience. You deserve alignment. And that begins the moment you stop performing and start listening to the truth beneath the armor. I'm here to help you rebuild from that place. Check the description. I've linked the free course, the book, and more tools just to get started. Because your survival isn't the end goal, your wholeness is.